Continuing from the previous episode 520. What the asterisk is going on with this ice mark TNU? Xiao Yan squatted down slowly, and then looked carefully at the ice mark TNU, which was divided into two halves. At this time, the ice mark TNU, the forehead and the body have been divided into two halves. The majestic and powerful limbs are already dying, and the snow-white fluff is also slightly smoothed down. Obviously, the ice scar TNU has died. Strange, how can there be no blood loss from the wound of the ice mark TNU? The next moment, Xiao Yan's pupils suddenly saw above the wound of the ice mark TNU, where there is a slowly shaking black gas surrounding the wound. There is such an evil aura on this frozen TNU. Bingen TNU is arrogant and will never allow such a thing to exist. Long Yi glanced at the dead Bingen TNU and said, "Let me think about it, what the asterisk is this?" The next moment, Long Yi also fell into contemplation. Obviously, the evil spirit on the wound of the ice mark TNU evokes some memories of Long Yi. Seeing this, Xiao Yan nodded knowingly. With Long Yi's guidance, Xiao Yan wouldn't rashly move the ice mark tiger, and immediately turned his eyes to the battle on the side. A few dozen meters away from Xiao Yan, Mu Feng, LVDI and Mu Yingying were on their feet, directly rapping the black beam. This thing is very strange. The ice mark TNU, which was as powerful as the 6th-rank emperor, was killed with one blow. We must be cautious. Mu Yingying bit her lips and said extremely solemnly, "For these weird things, I am the best at it, look at me." After Mu Feng finished speaking, a wooden sword appeared out of thin air. Mu Jian is ordinary, and he can't see any brilliance. Jinkin gossip! A voice containing special power was born instantly, and then Mu Feng kept saying it. The next moment, a black-blue vindictive energy was like fire met oil, and it slowly jumped above the wooden sword. The black-blue Do Qi kept beating on the wooden sword, and as Mu Feng kept chanting some mysterious incantations, those black-blue Do Qi had a faint trace of it turned into a rather mysterious rune. At this moment, the picture of the black beam suspended 3 meters above the ground in the bureau shook, as if he was extremely afraid of Mu Feng's move. There may be some secrets in this Mu Feng. This exercise is still a fighting technique, and it always gives people a strange feeling. Ludi Day's eyes were wrinkled, and she felt the strange changes in Mu Feng's body at this time. A terrifying breath has arrived. This breath is different from ordinary human beings, like the eerie breath in the ghost world. However, in the gloom of Mu Feng, Green Flute did not ask. Susu. A very harsh sound came from the black beam, and then it turned into a black shower, shooting towards Mu Feng. "I'm coming." Just when Mu Yingying was about to mobilize the power of holy flame in her body, the green flute on the side let out a coquettish roar, and then a huge green battle chi instantly emerged. Thousand Snake Dance. The green flute drank, and the green fighting chi around the body suddenly condensed into small snakes. The body of the little snake is extremely thin, but the color is very emerald green, giving people a strange feeling. Chi Cheng Chi. The huge vindictive energy snake shot at the black shower turned by the black beam. Seeing this, Mu Yingying was about to speak, but when she saw the determination in Lu Di's eyes and Mu Feng's concentration, she couldn't help feeling warm. Boom boom boom. The fearful black shower and the green flute's energy snake violently attacked together, and then the black shower, without exception, was swallowed by the green flute's green vindictive snake. Snake burst. At the next moment, the corner of Ludi's mouth cracked into a smile, and then said with a confident voice, "Boom boom boom." The voice just fell, and the body of the emerald-colored snake that swallowed a huge amount of black showers swelled up quickly, and then burst open with a bang. Shabu shabu. The terrifying battles were wave after wave, causing the already unrecognizable forest to collapse. Be careful. The next moment, Mu Yingying roared angrily, then her figure flashed, and she went directly to the place where the green flute was. The palm of the hand is slowly wrapped in a blue flame. Crack! With a sound, the black light beam suddenly appeared from the void in front of the green flute, and then flew towards the throat of the green flute, trying to kill it directly. It's so dangerous. Seeing this, the green flute was shocked. Just now, his own snake burst, swallowing the black shower. The power contained in it should not be underestimated, but I don't know why this black beam can escape his attack and appear out of thin air. If it wasn't for Mu Yingying's shot, Lu Di's own fate would have been feared. Their side was in full swing, and Xiao Yan didn't stop. I can't remember the origin of this Ice Mark Tianyu, but I can be sure that this wound is definitely not the ability of the Ice Mark Tianyu itself. I think this strange flame-like evil power should be because of the black beam. Long Yi said solemnly, "Does that have any effect on the demon core and blood essence?" Xiao Yan asked in surprise. The Ice Mark Tiger is indeed too rare, even his own artifact does not know it. It should be there. You take it away first and take a look, be careful. After Long Yi finished speaking, he couldn't make up his mind. Okay. Xiao Yan nodded in response when he heard the words. Then Xiao Yan squatted down slowly, and a small jade knife surrounded by flames appeared in his palm. There are extremely delicate lines on the jade knife, the lines are quite obscure, and it vaguely exudes a huge breath. The next moment, Xiao Yan's palm slowly wrapped the flame, and then took the lead to leave the forehead of the ice-marked Tianyu. What is this? Xiao Yan's palm was surrounded by flames, and then he slowly used the jade knife to gently insert it along the eyebrows of the ice mark linked to tianwu.novelmtl.com. Frozen Tianyu's forehead was just, suddenly exuding a trace of extremely evil black energy. Even the evil black aura on the forehead disappeared suddenly when Xiao Yan's jade knife was inserted, and when Du appeared, it was already in the place where the jade knife was inserted. Buzz! The soul-devouring talisman that was submerged in the palm of the hand suddenly burst out with a huge suction force, and an extremely greedy aura permeated towards the evil mass above the jade knife. Quiet me! Xiao Yan mobilized the huge soul power in his body. On the one hand, he defended to prevent the sudden counterattack of this evil energy. On the other hand, he used his soul power to directly suppress this soul-devouring talisman, and let it quiet down in autumn. But the next moment, Xiao Yan realized that he was wrong. At this time, under the jade knife, the bright red ice attribute demon core with temperature kept exuding a trembling aura. Obviously, he was very afraid of this evil energy. Xiao Yan was quite puzzled, but slowly fixed his eyes on the group of evil. Just as his eyes were close, Xiao Yan's pupils suddenly shrank with a flickering moment. Because Xiao Yan saw from the evil blackness and the gap between the stone statue and the jade knife inserted into the forehead of the ice-marked Tianyu, and saw a strange scene. Next to the magic core, is the face on the giant rock that blocked the road before. Exactly the same. So evil. Even such a simple glance made Xiao Yan's heart very heavy. Just a glance made Xiao Yan feel terrified. This is something that has never happened since he came to Btth continent. Not even a powerhouse with the half-immortal strength of Elder Zhu. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 521. Damn it! What on earth is this Soul Eater talisman doing? Xiao Yan forcibly suppressed the greedy intention of the Soul Eater talisman in the palm of his hand. This thing is too evil. Let's try this Soul Eater talisman. The reputation of this soul-devouring talisman in the ghost world is extremely loud, and there is no problem in thinking about it. Just when Xiao Yan was impatient, Long Yi suddenly spoke. Okay, Soul Eater talisman, don't you want to suck? Then give me a good breath. A roar emerged from Xiao Yan's heart, and then he stopped suppressing the Soul Eater talisman in the palm of his hand. Without Xiao Yan's suppression, a black mysterious rune suddenly appeared in Xiao Yan's palm. The black rune slowly floated on the palm of his hand, glaring at the evil aura on the forehead of the frozen Tianyu. Suck it for me. In the next instant, the soul-devouring talisman in Xiao Yan's palm flickered slightly, and then flew towards the evil aura next to the demon core in the forehead of the frozen tiger. Cece. With the appearance of the Soul Eater talisman, the evil aura at the demon core of the ice-marked Tianyu's forehead trembled strangely, as if facing the power of the Soul Eater talisman. Extremely fearful. Want to run? It's too late. Xiao Yan's eyes were quick and his hands were quick. When the evil energy in the ice-marked Tianyu demon core had just changed, Fenju in his body was stimulated, and an unusually bright flame suddenly appeared, and then directly smashed the ice into the ice. Henshinyu's forehead was wrapped. With the disguise of this flame, they shouldn't be able to see it. Xiao Yan shook his head, and then directly lowered the Soul Eater talisman in the palm of his hand to avoid being discovered by Mu Feng and the others. Shabu Shabu. In just a short fight, the strange power that emerged from the Soul Eater talisman directly devoured the evil aura surrounding the frozen TNU demon core. The next moment, the strange suction force released by this Soul Eater talisman seemed to be unfinished, and then it covered the body of frozen TNU, and then swept away the evil energy in his body. Only then did he return contentedly to Xiaoyan's palm. Cough, cough. As soon as the evil energy entered the body, Xiaoyan felt that his mind was changing, and a wave of fear emerged from the bottom of his heart. Protect your mind. This evil spirit is best at eroding people's minds. Once you are eroded by it, you will be transformed into a machine that only knows how to kill. Just when Xiaoyan felt a little dizzy, Long Yi's voice was transmitted word by word in Xiaoyan's mind. Only then did Xiaoyan recover slightly. Boom, boom, boom. The evil energy just entered the body, and the next moment it gathered on Xiaoyan's palm. At this time, a dark and evil black energy slowly appeared. And that Soul Eater talisman also appeared. As soon as the Soul Eater talisman appeared, a small vortex appeared in the center of the palm-sized Soul Eater talisman. The terrifying suction force seemed to want to absorb this evil energy. I'm here to help you. Xiaoyan sensed the intention of the Soul Eater talisman, and immediately whispered something understanding, and then controlled the huge flame to force the evil aura in the palm of his hand. Don't die. One teardrop kept dripping. Xiaoyan also found that this evil aura didn't seem to give in so easily, so he had to increase his strength immediately. Su. The soul-devouring talisman seemed to be determined to devour this evil aura early, and the aura was emerging. Coupled with the coercion of Xiaoyan's strange fire, the evil aura slammed into the soul-devouring talisman. The evil energy had just entered the Soul Eater talisman. Xiaoyan felt a variety of emotions such as death, fear, despair and so on from the Soul Eater talisman. It seems that there are still many secrets in this Soul Eater talisman. When I am strong enough in the future, I must completely unravel your secrets. Xiaoyan said slowly. The Soul Eater talisman was put away, ready to get the magic core and blood essence. Su. Xiaoyan put down the jade knife in his hand, and took out the magic core. See. The snow-white magic core is like a diamond-shaped crystal, but what a huge power it contains. A trace of ice strands continuously radiated from the demon core's body. It really is the ice attribute demon core of the 6th rank emperor. But what is this black spot? Xiaoyan slowly flipped the magic core, and then suddenly saw a pitch-black spot on top of the magic core, and immediately asked in doubt. An evil spirit again? After a careful realization, Xiaoyan also discovered the abnormality above the demon core. Damn, this evil aura actually nibbled at the ice mark TNU for so long. This ice mark TNU has not been assimilated for so long, so it can be said to be a character. Xiaoyan said slowly, Soul-devouring talisman, *** it up for me. Xiaoyan read it in his heart the next moment. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Wu. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem Since this Soul Eater talisman quite likes this evil aura, it can be expelled effortlessly. No, since the Soul Eater talisman has just absorbed the evil energy, it has the ability to communicate with Xiaoyan in the slightest. When Xiaoyan communicated with the Soul Eater talisman, the Soul Eater talisman was also very sure. How could it not work? Xiaoyan was immediately puzzled. The Soul Eater talisman has just absorbed that evil aura, so I'm afraid it already has some recognition for you, but if you want this thing to be truly recognized for your use, I'm afraid you'll have to rely on your groping. Long Yi also said, My grandmother's, and my relationship has raised an uncle. Xiaoyan said indignantly. However, Xiaoyan had no choice. Although there was a hint of evil on the magic core, there was no better choice. He could only carefully put away the magic core, and then slowly ran to the side. Next to the body of frozen TNU. Damn it! This blood essence has also been eroded by evil aura. Xiaoyan took out the blood essence of frozen scar TNU with familiarity. There were 10 drops in total, but among the 10 drops, there were some evil auras of different degrees. Forget it, refining Asahi pill requires a 2nd grade Emperor rank. Link to pharmacist www.novelmtl.com. I still have some time away from this realm, but I really can't think of a way. After all, there is still a Soul Eater talisman. Xiaoyan said slowly, and immediately collected the magic core and blood essence. Until this time, The materials Xiao Yan needs to prepare to devour the holy flame have been completed. The top of the desert mountain range. Here, the boundless vast space. A rather grand altar stands out of thin air. Above the altar, there is a flat open space, and there is only a huge throne that is quite imposing. On the throne, there is nothing surprising. On the left side of the throne, there is a behemoth that I don't know what it is. Right below the throne, a majestic figure standing in the sky suddenly appeared. If Xiao Yan is here, then Xiao Yan is sure that this is the hand that Xiao Yan saw on the wall before. At this time, the picture here is exactly the same as what Xiao Yan saw on the wall at that time. A huge palm reaching down to the sky, slapped down. Such a magnificent aura, I am afraid that the world can be torn apart. Under the huge palm, a purple gold figure raised its palm high, also palm to palm. Yep, why did the aura of the first layer of ice-scarred tigers in the desert mountain range disappear? An extremely displeased look came out from his charming lips. Ask for tickets. Monthly pass. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 522. Successful? Mu Yingying saw Xiao Yan approaching her, and immediately opened her mouth slightly, her voice full of excitement. Well, it succeeded, Xiao Yan said softly, but he didn't say anything about the contamination of the demon core and blood essence. That's good. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, she said in a low voice. How's it going here? Xiao Yan was too focused on the changes of the evil aura and the Soul Eater talisman, so he didn't notice the battle here, and immediately asked. The situation is not optimistic. This black beam is extremely terrifying. Even if Mu Feng uses some terrifying means, there is no sign that it can be killed. It's like immortality and immortality. Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes kept flickering, and she opened her mouth slightly. Immortal? When Xiao Yan heard this, he was suddenly surprised. However, just as Xiao Yan was about to speak, the soul-devouring talisman in the palm of his hand gave off an extremely greedy aura. Xiao Yan suddenly had an idea in his heart. Mu Feng, green flute, let me get close to it. I have a way. A roar appeared directly beside several people. Okay. Mu Feng and Ludi heard the words and immediately agreed. Because they have been fighting with the black beam for a long time just now, and found that the black beam is extremely strange. It seems that it is truly as Mu Yingying said, immortality and immortality. If they were blocked by this black evil beam all the time, I'm afraid these people would die in the desert mountains. Zhang Kong, thousands of snakes share the tide. Mu Feng and LVDI launched a terrifying attack at the same time. The wooden sword in Mu Feng's hand exuded extremely terrifying strength, and then slashed down with one sword, and an incomparably huge fighting spirit burst out, facing the black beam. As for the green flute, it did not lag behind either. The battle chi on his body turned into an emerald color, and the poison emerged, and then turned into thousands of giant energy snakes, carrying the venom that corrodes everything, and went towards the black beam. Xiao Yan, do you have any idea? Mu Yingying stood aside, because she also knew that Xiao Yan did not let Xiao Yi take action not only to preserve his strength, but also to protect himself. Boom boom boom. At the next moment, an evil aura appeared around the black beam, trying to resist the attacks of Mu Feng and green flute. The terrifying explosion fluctuated, sparks scattered, and dust filled the sky, making everyone's vision blurred. It's just that the eyes of several people were attracted by this earth-shattering explosion, and they didn't notice that the space under Xiao Yan's feet trembled strangely, and then Xiao Yan disappeared in place. Space shuttle handprint. Xiao Yi was on the side and could see it clearly. What Xiao Yan showed just now was the space shuttle handprint that was taught to him by the mysterious figure in the Yin Corpse forest. A mysterious fighting skill that can travel through space at short distances. The current Xiao Yan is undoubtedly much stronger than before, so he does not need to seal, and he can move freely through a short distance of space. I don't know what eldest brother is going to do. After Xiao Yi finished speaking, she looked closely at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's figure disappeared strangely. When Do appeared, the space around the black light beam squirmed slightly, and then an arm stretched out from it. The appearance of the arm is actually Xiao Yan's arm. It's just that at this moment on Xiao Yan's arm, in the palm of his hand, a soul-devouring talisman flashing with a strong aura slowly beats. Plop! With a sudden movement of the palm of his hand, the soul-devouring talisman exuded a huge devouring power, and then the black light beam, which was difficult for Mu Yingying and the three of them to work together to deal with, disappeared instantly. Fortunately, they didn't discover it under the terrifying fluctuations. Xiao Yan felt relieved when he saw the soul-devouring talisman swallowing the evil black beam. The next moment, the figure flashed and returned to Mu Yingying's side. "Where's Xiao Yan?" Mu Feng and the others launched an extremely powerful attack, but they vaguely felt that even so, they might not be able to kill the evil black beam. "It's all right. I've solved it." Xiao Yan's figure appeared and then said directly. "It's resolved?" Mu Feng's expression became slightly surprised when he heard this. This evil aura is much more powerful than the gloomy and eerie ghost energy, so Mu Feng knows the power of this evil energy better than others. Finally calmed down, Green Flute spoke slightly, obviously excited because Xiao Yan subdued those intractable evil black beams. "Everyone, please reply to the fighting spirit first." After Xiao Yan finished speaking, the ring on the palm of his hand flickered, and then one after another of extraordinary quality medicinal pills appeared. Several people heard the words. Without hesitation, they reached out to take it, and swallowed it. The medicinal pill had just entered the body, and a gentle force continuously nourished the body, allowing the fighting qi on the bodies of Mu Yingying and the others to recover quickly. "Are you okay?" Xiao Yi slowly appeared from behind Xiao Yan, and then said to Xiao Yan. "It's all right," Xiao Yan responded calmly, no surprise that Xiao Yi vaguely knew about this Soul Eater talisman. After all, the two have been closely linked due to the different fire, so this is the question from Xiao Yi. With the fall of the ice scar Tianyu, this forest has changed beyond recognition. Above the wasteland, a conspicuous path appeared. Because when Xiao Yan and the others entered the desert mountain range, they came to the huge back of the ice mark Tianyu, so at this time as the ice mark Tianyu got up, the forest had already changed beyond recognition, leaving only a trace of it. The afterglow of the silk battle. Xinya 81 Zhang Wei and Wang Yu. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem the bottom road is twisted, and I don't know where it leads. But what makes Xiao Yan feel strange is that there seems to be a strong restriction in this desert mountain range. After the evil black light beam appeared just now, Xiao Yan can no longer step in the air. Flight is restricted, so he could only go on foot, and Xiao Yan also discovered that this desert mountain range is not only foggy, but the fog is extremely extraordinary, and it can actually isolate Xiao Yan's soul power and even spiritual power. This is what puzzles Xiao Yan the most. The wonder of soul power and spiritual link to power. www.novelmtl.com. Xiao Yan can resolve many crises with these two, and now this tone has isolated Xiao Yan's soul power and spiritual power. It is tantamount to breaking an arm. "I don't know where this path leads," Xiao Yan murmured, but he could vaguely feel that this path was what they were going to walk. 5-level barren road. Just when Xiao Yan was puzzled, the Soul Eater talisman in the palm of his hand suddenly sent out a message, which was directly merged into Xiao Yan's mind. A 5-story barren road? Xiao Yan was suddenly surprised at the next moment. Because according to what this Soul Eater talisman said, there are 5 full layers in this desert mountain range. And the ice mark Tianyu just now was on the first floor. If it wasn't for Xiao Yan who happened to be teleported here when they entered the passage, I'm afraid it would take a lot of effort to pass through every floor. This Soul Eater talisman is really weird. Xiao Yan secretly surprised and said, "The Soul Eater talisman has been an evil thing of heaven and earth since ancient times, and its power is comparable to that of holy flame. It may be that you helped it absorb those few traces of evil aura just now. It will give back to you." Long Yi couldn't think of why, so he said immediately, "Yes." Xiao Yan slowly agreed, because he also knew that this Soul Eater talisman contained enormous power, and this power was beyond his control now, so he didn't pursue it too much. "Let's go." With a slow voice, Xiao Yan stepped directly into the crooked path. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 523. Xiao Yan, wait, this road seems to be quite strange, we still. Mu Feng called out when Xiao Yan walked forward without hesitation. No, I vaguely feel that this is correct. I believe Mu Yingying and Xiao Yi also felt it. At the top of this desert mountain range, something seems to be calling us. Xiao Yan murmured, then raised his head, trying to see through the extremely dignified mist top, but came back in vain. Yes, both Mu Yingying and Xiao Yi nodded. Let's go. The next moment, Mu Feng also shook his head and said, "Could it be my delusion?" Mu Feng slowly followed Xiao Yan, but for some unknown reason, Xiao Yan had such an evil aura faintly on his body. Although it is very small, it has not escaped Mu Feng's induction. Forget it, this feeling only appeared after the black light beam disappeared. Thinking about it, it should be the after effects left by Xiao Yan's use of some special methods. Mu Feng shook his head and said suddenly, "Xiao Yan, why are you so sure that this is the right path? What if this is a dead end?" Green Flute's green hair wriggled slightly, swinging like Medusa snakes. Seeing this, Xiao Yan was not surprised by Green Flute's inquiry, and immediately summoned a strange fire. Flame. Green Flute was quite puzzled, then said, "Mu Yingying, Xiao Yi." Xiao Yan said calmly. When the two heard the words, they immediately understood, and then a trace of flame was instantly born in their bodies, and 3 flames instantly appeared in midair. Let them go," Xiao Yan said. Just finished speaking, all 3 of them cut off the connection with the flames, and let the 3 flames swim. The flames that had just escaped the control of the 3 of them, the next moment, went directly towards all the paths in front of Xiao Yan and the others at a very fast speed. "The speed is astonishing. Follow," Xiao Yan said. Just after Xiao Yan finished speaking, the other 4 nodded at the same time and followed closely. "Is this a desert mountain range? It's really huge." When Mu Yingying was moving fast, she followed the crooked path. As far as the eye could see, countless forest trees appeared in her beautiful eyes. "This flame seems to be leading us towards the mountain," Mu Feng said slightly. Only after leaving the place where the ice scar heavenly tiger was, did Mu Feng realize how huge this desert mountain range is. I am afraid that the area that Mu Feng saw at this time is thousands of kilometers. Such a huge area is comparable to a powerful empire. Why did it stop suddenly? Just as Mu Feng was looking at the huge forests around him, a huge mountain range that rose from the sky slowly appeared in front of everyone. Perhaps, this is the real desert mountain range, where just now, including all the forest groups here, are just the foot of the mountain. Xiao Yan said slowly, but was shocked by the huge mountain range in front of him. This gigantic mountain range rises from the ground, and it is covered by white fog. It is impossible to find it even if you stand tens of meters away, and it is even more impossible to perceive it with the power of your soul. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 zs. Koem. This white and mysterious mist directly isolates the fighting chi and the power of the soul. A real desert mountain range. Seeing this, Mu Yingying bit her lips slightly. "Xiao Yan, I believe in you, let's go." After a brief hesitation, several people said one after another. This desert mountain and the foot of the mountain are isolated. In other words, there is a very special restriction in this desert mountain range. If we go inside, unless we reach the top, we will not be able to come out. Xiao Yan said word by word, his voice solemn, extraordinarily conspicuous. Several people heard the words, but their hearts were suddenly shocked. "Let's go." Several people heard the words, although their hearts were extremely shocked, but the next moment, their eyes did not move, and they spoke directly. "In that case, let's go. I want to see, what secrets are there in this desert mountain range?" Xiao Yan finished speaking, and took the lead in smiling casually, then took a light step and stepped directly into the huge desert mountain range rising from the ground. Plop! A group of 5 people stepped in at the same time as things were flowing like flowing water. With a plop, they went straight through the white fog and came to this desert mountain range. Just when they came to this desert mountain range, several people felt an invisible oppression permeating their hearts, as if there were some terrifying creatures in the desert mountain range. Ouch! A scream sounded. When several people heard the words, they immediately turned their heads to look. I saw Mu Feng lying on the ground with a rather embarrassed figure at this time. A white mist appeared on top of his body, and some small wounds caused by strong force appeared on Mu Feng's body. "Are you all right?" Green Flute hurried over to support Mu Feng. "I'm fine, I actually just wanted to see if it was as strange as Xiao Yan said." He, Mu Feng said with a grin, not at all dissatisfied with this small setback. It's just that in Mu Feng's heart, his evaluation of Xiao Yan was at a higher level. "Look, that's it?" Mu Yingying had just entered the desert mountain range. Her body was full of azure blue fighting spirit, and then her eyes were swept around, and she suddenly saw a huge boulder not far away. "Go and have a look." Xiao Yan also discovered the boulder and said. A few people walked over and found a huge rock. Behind the rock were 5 bottomless caves, and then stopped beside the huge rock. This place is a desert mountain range. 5 desolate roads, each is their own. On the boulder, the clearly visible handwriting is extraordinarily clear. This is not good. At the next moment, Xiao Yan chanted it once and didn't feel anything wrong, but the second time he suddenly noticed something. He shouted loudly, and then the huge soul force in his body instantly emerged, facing the 4 people around him covered wildly. Because after reading the information on the boulder, Xiao Yan clearly felt that the boulder had an extremely mysterious power. What's wrong? The 4 people on the side linked to www.novelmtl.com except for Xiao Yi, who knew something vaguely. The other 3 all looked at Xiao Yan suspiciously. Fast back. Xiao Yan didn't have time to explain, so he spoke directly. But the next moment, Rao Yi Xiao Yan had done so much homework, and he was damned without success. At the moment Xiao Yan shot, 5 white mists suddenly appeared on the boulder. The white mist contained an extremely mysterious power, which was unfathomable. The moment it appeared, it directly separated Xiao Yan and the others. Everyone's destiny. A long voice slowly echoed here, and then 5 white mists suddenly attached to Xiao Yan and the 5. Each has their own one. Damn, what is this? The white mist had just attached to Mu Feng's body, and a sense of weakness swept through Mu Feng's body. Immediately, without waiting for Mu Feng to say more, Mu Feng's figure suddenly walked towards a passage behind the boulder. Next came the green flute, Mu Yingying, and Xiao Yi. The 4 of them are on the left and right of the 5 passages behind the boulder. As for the one in the middle, the next moment, Xiao Yan's figure suddenly disappeared under the mysterious effect of the white mist. After doing all this, the mysterious white mist on the boulder slowly dimmed, but a trace of extremely evil black slowly wrapped around the bottom of the boulder. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 524. I really didn't expect it. Xiao Yan shook his head helplessly. Obviously he was helpless about the scene just now. Obviously, when he saw the 5 passages behind the boulder, he should have thought, how could? Just when Xiao Yan was hesitating, Xiao Yan's figure, guided by the white mist, had come to an extremely unfamiliar place. With a sound of shush, the white mist on Xiao Yan's body instantly disappeared, and then Xiao Yan was put down. Just now, Xiao Yan didn't see anything because of being enveloped and isolated by the white mist. Now, with the disappearance of the white mist, Xiao Yan's perception has also recovered. This is. Xiao Yan immediately ignored Xiao Yi and the others. He wanted to come to their 5-star fighting emperor level. Although they were not that powerful in this desert mountain range, there was still no problem in protecting themselves. Xiao Yan made a slight plan in his heart, and then a huge soul force emerged, trying to clarify this unfamiliar place. What was reflected in Xiao Yan's eyes was a huddle. At this time, Xiao Yan was located in the middle of this lake, above a beautiful square courtyard. No, the isolation of this white mist is too strong, and the soul power can only vaguely perceive the surrounding dozens of meters. Xiao Yan shook his head and said. Xiao Yan couldn't help but be slightly surprised that this spiritual power, which was usually like a divine help, had become so vulnerable here. Hey, why is there no way here? Xiao Yan's eyes were scattered, but he was surprised to find out. Above the pavilion where I am, there is no road at all. When Xiao Yan saw this, Xiao Yan turned quickly, and then the next moment, his figure exploded, suddenly facing the pavilion, and took advantage of his strength to fly. Boom boom boom. Just as Xiao Yan's figure left the pavilion, a pressure like a huge boulder suddenly appeared on Xiao Yan's body. Not good. Xiao Yan suddenly drank it, but realized that something was wrong. When he just left the pavilion, the mysterious power of forbidden air appeared instantly, and then Xiao Yan's body collapsed in midair, and he was about to fall into the water in a blink of an eye. At this time, Xiao Yan's eyes were quick and his hands were quick, his toes lightly tapped, and he skillfully used the power of Hu Bo's water surface, and the figures came back to the pavilion in an instant. Xiao Yan returned to the pavilion, and the invisible pressure had disappeared. This place actually has the power of forbidden space. Xiao Yan slowly stayed in the pavilion and said. If there is only 1,000 pounds of pressure, Xiao Yan's current strength is enough to deal with it, but under that invisible pressure, there seems to be an extremely powerful restriction, so Xiao Yan has no way to leave here. Elder Long, Xiao Yan, Monk Zhang was puzzled, and immediately spoke slowly to the ancient Yu Huoheng behind him. I knew that you would trouble me, Long Yi said helplessly, and immediately showed up after speaking. At this time, Long Yi was already in the appearance of an old human being, and he did not have the extremely weak state of dragon soul at all. Obviously, in this ancient ruler of strange fire, with Xiao Yan's constant warming and nourishment, let Long Yi recover a lot of strength slightly. There is an extremely tyrannical restriction here. I am afraid that this restriction is even me. Long Yi's soul slowly appeared in the pavilion, and then his eyes turned slightly around. Elder Long, what is this place? I tried to leap over here just now, but I just left the pavilion. The force of forbidden air suddenly appeared and almost fell into the water of this pavilion. Xiao Yan said slowly, it's definitely not easy here, be careful. I think, even if you think about fighting immortal level strength, I'm afraid you won't be able to get much. After Long Yi finished speaking, flames appeared on his body, and he slowly walked away from the pavilion. Shabu! With a loud voice, the flames with extremely powerful momentum instantly fell on the surface of the water. Immediately, there were slight ripples on the calm water surface, which was quite beautiful. How is that possible? The next moment, Xiao Yan's pupils shrank tightly, because the power Long Yi just displayed was his own grudge. The space here is actually limited, even the fighting spirit. Xiao Yan's soul power and spiritual power have been limited, and the range of perception is only within the range of 10 or so Yu. If this grudge is limited, I'm afraid that it is difficult for a clever woman to cook without rice. How could this pavilion appear here for no reason? Seeing Long Yi thinking, Xiao Yan didn't stop, and his mind moved quickly. There should be hundreds of meters around this pavilion. My soul power and spiritual power are both exerted at the same time, and I can't probe to the end. In just a few breaths, Xiao Yan had the answer. This may be a treasure trove. Long Yi said slowly. Treasure place? Xiao Yan was slightly surprised when he heard this. I don't blame you for not knowing. After all, the world is full of wonders. I remember that when I was young, when I was wandering around, I heard that there are strong human beings who like to stay out of the world, looking for a rather beautiful feng shui treasure to live in their lives, and when they leave or fall, they will put their wealth and what you have learned in your life will be given to future generations. Long Yi explained. Long Lao, what do you mean? This is the place where a strong man sat in his lifetime. Xiao Yan frowned. If this place is really as Long Yi said, it is the place where a strong man sits, then the strength of that strong man during his lifetime will definitely not be a nameless person. To be able to be so solemn by Long Yi, I am afraid his strength is comparable to that of Do Xian. This is in line with what I said. Look, this Hu Bo seems to be plain and simple, but there is a hidden murderous intention inside, and it is too quiet here, as if deadly quiet. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang Yu, Kai 8.1 ZS, Co-M. So I speculate that this pavilion is just a test to enter this strongman's link to mansion www.novelmtl.com / the power of forbidden air, coupled with the suppression of your soul power and spiritual power. This strong man may be extremely difficult. Yi's analysis is straightforward. Hu Bo? At the next moment, Xiao Yan's dark brown pupils stared at Hu Bo under the pavilion. Under the pavilion, there was a little bit of deep lake water, and it was bottomless. As for the bottom, Xiao Yan naturally didn't know what was there. It's really weird, Xiao Yan murmured, then looked around with a vigilant expression. In this desert mountain range, there is also a reminder on the stone that just came in. The 5-story barren road. I don't know which floor I am here. Xiao Yan thought to no avail, so he could only give up, and then said slightly. I think this should be the highest level, the 5th level, of the desert mountain range. When Xiao Yan was puzzled, Long Yi suddenly spoke up. How is that possible? Xiao Yan was slightly shocked. Because he entered the first layer of the desert mountain range, he got the demon core and blood essence contaminated by the evil air, and the flame in the body went towards the highest point in the desert mountain range. It seems that there is something on the top of the mountain that attracts the flame in Xiao Yan's body. But now Xiao Yan didn't feel any strangeness from his body. Don't think about it. I'm sure this is the 5th floor, but it's still a long way from the top of the desert mountain range. Now, you should think about how to pass this test first. After Long Yi finished speaking, he smiled slightly, as if he knew something. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter.